8-0 in their last 8 games. And their last division title came before the young man you're watching now, Josh Allen, was even born.
Panthers at Packers.
Packed it in. So Green Bay scores on their opening 3 possessions and then played awful football for the next hour and a half. Aaron Rodgers, visibly frustrated, had a season-low 143 passing yards.
Seahawks at Washington.
Boom is back. Legion of Boom. Seahawks held the last 4 opponents to 17 points or fewer. The defense had 4 sacks and a couple of turnovers against Washington and Dwayne Haskins. A newly acquired Carlos Dunlap, 4.5 sacks in 6 games. And since week 9, you can't run on them. The number 1 rush defense in the NFL in the second half of the season.
Jaguars at Ravens.
Yeah, long-term win for the Jaguars, who lost, but they now have the number 1 pick in the draft, and a Southern football star would be perfect for a Southern NFL team. Trevor Lawrence. Sometimes a loss, and this was an ugly one, is a win.
Lions at Titans.
The man, Ryan Tannehill. 5 total touchdowns, 3 through the air, 2 on the ground. 4th game for Tennessee this year with 40-plus points. Not the Chiefs, not the Bills. That's the most in the entire NFL. He has had a really nice year-and-a-half stretch since he was given the starting job in Tennessee.
Bears at Vikings.
Not dead yet. 3 straight games for the Bears offense, over 30. 7 scoring drives by Mitch Trubisky, and right now Arizona in the 7th and final seed. Bears 7-7 in the hunt. Matt Nagy coaching perhaps for his job. Trubisky playing for his job. And it's the offense, not the defense, leading them.
Patriots at Dolphins.
Patriots beat Patriots. The Dolphins defense, 20 straight games with a takeaway. That leads the NFL. Resourceful. Players appear less crucial than the system right now. They jump out to leads. They had a touchdown taken away because of a discrepancy on the sideline football review. But they were clearly the better team the entire day.
49ers at Cowboys.
Worst draft pick. All right, Cowboys now have the 9th pick in the draft. So there's a pass rusher and there's a linebacker at Penn State and a pass rusher at Miami. At least they don't have the pressure of having to worry about the best couple quarterbacks.
Texans at Colts.
Better organization won. Colts last 3 games. No giveaways, 7 takeaways. Phillip Rivers, once again, a passer rating over 100. Why? Because unlike the Texans, they actually draft well and have a really good offensive line to assist their running backs who they've drafted well and their quarterbacks who they've acquired well.
Buccaneers at Falcons.
This felt familiar. Yeah, the last time Brady came back from 17 down, it was against Atlanta in the Super Bowl. And, of course, the Falcons' second loss this year when leading by 17 points at halftime.
Jets at Rams.
A legitimate shocker. Jets are the first winless team ever to beat a 9-plus win team on the road in NFL history. I mean, Jets are last in points, yards, passing, point differential, and they beat the Rams. Rams going to be really good this week. Guarantee it.
Eagles at Cardinals.
Wentz era over? 400 total yards? First time an Eagle quarterback had 3 touchdown passes, 3+ in a game, 2 receivers, all of them. Listen, he moves. Carson, according to a story, I read it on Twitter, Carson Wentz wants out if he's not the starter, which I get. You're paying me $150 million, I'm your guy. So somebody'll jump on Wentz. Somebody will. Talked to a personnel guy this weekend. He said somebody will jump on Wentz. He's too talented. And he was almost an MVP a year and a half ago.
Chiefs at Saints.
Why so close? Chiefs had the ball for 41 minutes, Saints 18. Drew Brees struggled. Saints couldn't run. They were 1 for 11 on third down. This game shouldn't have been close. I don't know. Hey, everybody keeps telling me Kansas City's going to be okay, and I guess if they're healthy, they will be, but I don't know. These 6 straight wins by 6 points or less, that's never been done in the NFL. The Chiefs are just winning too close.
Browns at Giants.
Baker feeling dangerous. Listen, they're playing well. He's averaging 325 yards passing over the last 3 games. Now, they do have the highest graded offensive line. That helps. And their running game is great. They remind me a little bit. I've been telling Goulet this. They remind me a little bit of the Cowboys' Dak first year. Best O-line, great running game, good quarterback, but I don't feel there's a special arm or special athletic ability. But they protect him. He plays mostly with leads. Don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but, they can pile up the wins. They feel very much like Dak and the Cowboys first year. Very good team. I do think there's a ceiling, but Baker now spreading the ball around, a little bit of a point guard feel. This was I thought that was a really good throw. So good for Baker. So I'm not doing a blazing 5 this week.
Just sprinkle picks.
But I was 4-1 this week, 3rd straight winning week. So what I'm going to do is on my Twitter, I'm going to give out a couple of picks. I'm going to give you one right now. Rams +2 over Seattle. So I'm going to give you that one right now. That's one of my blazing 5 picks. Rams +2 over Seattle. Rams got beat by the Jets. They're going to have their best week of practice all season. And Seattle's winning and playing ugly. Discovery Plus, a new streaming service, comes next year. Some originals, some favorites. We'll see you tomorrow. It's good to have you in. So number one is, there's always a team that every year gets into the playoffs. Sometimes there's more than one, but there's always like one team in one of the conferences, and you don't feel like they're really a playoff team, and you just kind of know they're going to get dogged in the first week. This year, the opposite. There's a team I think feels like a division champ. So in the NFC, we kind of know who's going to make the playoffs. Packers, Saints, Seahawks, I guess Washington, Rams, Bucks. It's between Arizona and Chicago, it feels like to me. Chicago's now playing very well. Arizona, Chicago, they feel the same to me. Inconsistent, but they're good teams. Look in the AFC right now. Either Miami or Baltimore's not going to get in. And nothing against the Dolphins, but if the Baltimore Ravens, who will be favored in their last 2 games, do not get into the playoffs at 11-5, it is the best team I've ever seen in the league not get into the playoffs. Folks, their losses are to Kansas City, Tennessee in overtime, New England in a downpour when you couldn't see the field. We couldn't see the game late. And Pittsburgh twice, when Pittsburgh was healthier and better. I'm sorry, but this is a really good football team. They hammered a good team in the Colts. They've beaten Cleveland twice. In the next couple of games, they play the Giants and the Bengals. My feeling is, especially with Daniel Jones not 100%, they're going to beat the Giants. This would be an incredible NFL team to not make the playoffs.
Well, they'll likely win both of those games. The Dolphins' remaining 2 are tough. They have the Raiders and the Bills.
Well, they're going to beat the Raiders. The Bills is an interesting story. So Buffalo's not the number 1 seed. So would they rest a few of their players, Buffalo? Not all, but, an offensive tackle that's banged up or, a linebacker that's maybe not 100%. I could see Buffalo saying, we're going to rest 2 or 3 players for the following week. For most of my life, it feels like my adult life, the NFC has been better than the AFC. The AFC was like Brady, Manning, and some Big Ben. The rest of it was a bunch of nonsense. Man, Miami and Baltimore, one of them not making the playoffs. Those are good teams. Those are really good teams. And I will say this. I was watching the Dolphins yesterday, and